Welcome back to Adri's Farmhouse kitchen. It is so warm outside. We've just came back from a Newport show where I was lucky enough to cook with Rosemary. We've made naan bread and she's done a cooking demo with lots of yummy things. It was so nice there. But we came back now. I had a shower, washed my hair, and I am going to process peas today. If you're here with me, I have decided to do lots of freezing this year. Finally, I found my favorite freezer book, Freeze Fresh, and I'm just reading into how to freeze peas, because it's so important to blanch or steam blanch vegetables before you freeze it from so many aspects. Sometimes it's just easier to just chuck everything straight to the freezer, but if you think of flavor, structure, and all these, how you want to use it up in your cooking, it's worth to just done that extra step. So, oh, look what I've bought. I bought this gorgeous little table today, actually, from the Newport show. How pretty is that? So I'm gonna make a use of this now with shelling this piece today. I've got the compost bin in here next to me. I've got these 2 bowls to go through. I've also got my Gardener's World magazine, inspiring me with some recipes as well. Later I'm gonna go flick that through. I've got my apple cider vinegar water and I've got coffee as well. So yeah, this is gonna keep me busy, and I'll bring you back when I'm going to actually do the blanching and the freezing process if you're interested. So this is gonna take me a while, so I'm just gonna watch a couple of my favorite YouTubers or just listen to something I like listening on a go. And honestly, I don't mind doing jobs like that, especially if it's so hot out there. I like to just spend some time inside. And the living room, I'm gonna put the fan on in a minute. It's just gonna be really, really nice. So I'm gonna have my doggies as a company here for me. Okay, I've managed to done all the peas, and let's weigh. Let's just weigh this. We're gonna blanch this, so it doesn't matter if there is few bits and bobs in there, but pretty clean. Okay, so actually we've got 1 kilogram. It is a bit late now, so I'm not going to process this today. I'm gonna do it tomorrow or the next couple of days. So I'm gonna get dinners ready. We're gonna have the same what we had yesterday. So good. Let me show you. The beef and vegetable cheese bake, it's delicious, and we still got plenty, so I'm probably gonna do half of it. Probably I might do as a freezer meal, and we finish the rest off today and maybe tomorrow. But how I'm gonna serve this, what I actually haven't done, I've made a mistake. When we dug up those potatoes, the shallot, I forgot to weigh it. Friends, and I've already cooked with these yesterday with like new potatoes and would go with this meal. So I might gonna have to just add on it a little bit. But this is about 1, 2, 5, 3. So I reckon we had about 1.5 kilogram, friends, if I would have to guess. Maybe more, maybe close to 2 kilograms. But I would like to write this down now, and I would like to monitor how many kilogram, what yield each potato bed or raised bed gonna give us. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, friends. I'm just gonna heat this up in the oven, and I'm gonna peel the potatoes, boil it first, and then cut it, boil it. And I think I've used, my cousin gave me this Christmas time, this seasoning. It's for chicken, but I put it on this potato yesterday and Alan loved it. Oh, and I've also put a little bit of this as well. So we're gonna season it with these, my herb blend. And that's what we're gonna do, friends. Oh, I've also bought this today in that show, the Newport show. So that little table I've just showed you and this food cover, I think this looks so beautiful. Okay, I have heated up the main meal and I've just peeled and cut the cucumber, one of the spirulus pepper, sweet pepper. I have found in a fridge a few garlic scapes, so I've cut this up and put some salt on it and my chili sauce, and that's gonna be delicious. That's what I've decided to put with this actually today. And let's have a taste test. This is so good. So I've just topped it up now with the potato what I've made, and I fried up a little bit of the sauerkraut, and this is now looking absolutely delicious. What do you think, friend? Bon appetit! Welcome back to my kitchen, friends. Today is going to be a very busy day. Preserving the harvest. We carry on. We're going to preserve peas and beans. We're going to blanch and freeze the same how we've done the broccoli if you were here with me. I have made a list. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to go through everything on my list as already close to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been busy this morning with chores. Alan is out. I've done everything in a smallholding, and I've done actually 2 vlogs I was editing. So the plan for today is making sourdough bread. I'm hoping to make a bread, 1 or 2, we'll see how it goes. So you're gonna freeze peas and beans as I've mentioned, and for dinner tonight, Al asked me to have sausage and chips. He asked for gravy, so I might do some plum sauce gravy, and some of the sugar snap peas needs using up. Sugar snap peas actually is on my list to deal with. Broad beans. I've harvested some of the broad beans and I'm thinking of making broad bean hummus. So that's something interesting. I've got few things in hand what needs to be used up, so that should be fun. And fermented cucumber. So friends, I cannot promise you we're gonna go through all today, but I'll try my best. So if you're interested, you are welcome. Let's go watch the vlog, friends. I have done some prep for this project. So obviously I cleaned the peas. So I picked the peas, I shelled the peas, and I weighed it. And we have shelled 3.6 kilogram of garden peas, and we've got 500 grams of beans. Also, I've not managed to shell the broad beans yet, so that's we're gonna do later on. I've got the sourdough starter ready, so that's ready to make a bread. I've also done the bags for freezing, so the water is behind us. It's nearly close to a boil, and I've got the ice bath ready as well. So there's one thing I need to do, because I'm gonna do the peas and straight we're gonna do the beans in the same water, but I still need to top and tail these beans and chop, because my idea is to chop it and get it ready in those freezer bags how I would like to use it up, friends. So that's the plan. So again, as always, we're going to multitasking. So I'm gonna use milled flour and some of the leftover flours I really need to use up, friends, and let's see how it goes. So I'm just gonna top and tail all these beans, and I'll bring you back as soon as I'm done and the water is boiling. Okay, I am ready to I'm gonna put all the peas in there, and as soon this comes back to a boil, I'm gonna put the alarm on for 2 minutes. 2 minutes in a boiling water and 2 minutes in an ice bath before we're going to put them in a freezer bag and vacuum seal it. Okay, let's put the lid back on. And I'm gonna wait until it comes back to a boil. Until then, I've still got few more beans to deal with, because as soon that comes out, the beans go in. So the top and tail can go to my compost bin, and I'm just slicing this for kind of bite-sized pieces, how I would like to end up in my recipes. This might sound a bit overwhelming, blanching and freezing. You know, freezing, it's like it's easy, you just put it in a freezer, but it's honestly, it doesn't take much effort and it's really worth it. Few of the beans gone frozen. My fridge, I'm experiencing similar things with my carrot as well. So I need to check why it's my fridge freezes. Could that be when we had the power cut for like 6 hours? That possibly that what messed it up. So that's not good. I'm just watching the collies through the window, my kitchen window. They jump into that small pool I have there with beautiful lilies, and they're destroying it. They worked it out how to come into this garden. Okay, so now all the beans are done. I'm just gonna check how long the beans we need to blanch. Steam blanch for 3 minutes. Tossing the beans around at the 90-second mark. Moving immediately to ice bath for chilling for 3 minutes. Okay, so peas 2 minutes, 3 minutes, beans 3. This is still not boiling. Okay, well, I'm waiting on that to come to a boil. I decided to shell these sugar snap peas because these ones we forgot about, and they develop now quite a big peas inside, and they don't really look so appetizing as a whole pod. So I'm just gonna shell these in between while we're waiting. I've got both of the water bath, the ice bath, sorry, ready. One for the peas, one for the beans. So I'm all set up. Everything is done. So I've got time. And after we do this, probably we're gonna do the bread next, because the bread, it's a long, all day, half a day job. So we should have really started with the bread. Okay, this is now boiling. So I'm gonna turn this on for 2 minutes now, just set my alarm. So we can have these peas with a sausage and chips or sausage and mash today. And yeah, you're doing good. After we're done this, probably I'm gonna shell, after I shell these, I'm gonna shell the broad beans so we can make the broad bean hummus as well. And I might do like one naan bread and one naan bread dough and one bread dough as well, because I've got plenty sourdough starter going. This is really hard to peel, the sugar snap peas, but it just doesn't look appetizing now with the whole pod. The one what I picked earlier, that still looks good. I can just saute that on some butter. That'll be lovely. I just don't like wasting. I know I can give this to the animals, but we've already not had a great pea harvest. While we were on holiday, they gone over. We've lost loads. So I just try to save as much as we can. Time is up now. So I'm gonna remove all this. Straight to the ice bath. And we're just gonna portion it out. I've already done the bags ready. I've sealed the one side. So again, I am thinking what I'm gonna use this for. And that's how I package it, you know, for my small family. It's not easy to fish out all these peas if you leave few behind and end up with the beans. I don't mind. But as soon this comes back to a boil, we can drop the beans in straight away. Because this one needs time to towel dry a bit anyway after the 2 minutes ice bath. I didn't have enough ice, but it's okay. Just do what we can. I think I've been pretty good to fishing most of these peas out. So I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna drain these peas and towel dry it before we vacuum seal it. Just gonna get some towels out. The sausages, so I took the sausages out. It's defrosting. The pork sausages I bought from the local farmer. Right, the water is now boiling, so we're ready to add the beans for 3 minutes. Put the alarm on for 3 minutes. And I've got the cold water here. Ready. Okay, alarm just gone off. I'm ready to take the beans out. At this point, we finished with the water, so I'm gonna turn that off. We have done pressure canning beans and peas last year. I've got the videos from that from last year. And we might do some pressure canning, but because lack of jars, I'm experimenting with freezing. Let's see if we like it. This way. I think we're good. Just push it back and leave it in here for 3 minutes, and we're gonna towel dry it. Okay, so I'm finished shelling the peas, and now I'm ready to make a bread. So we have got lots of flour. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm going to weigh how much flour we have, and I'm going to gather the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I am ready to make the bread. So first thing first, I'm adding water, sugar and salt, 1 egg and the butter. to my stand mixer, and I'm going to mix this real well before we add the flour and the sourdough starter. I should have melted the butter, I've made that mistake. But now we are ready to add the flour, bit by bit, until it nicely cooperates, and then we add the sourdough starter and let it autolyze for at least half an hour before we're going to knead the dough for a good 10-15 minutes. And the other one is gonna be a naan bread. And we're gonna use that with the hummus, the broad bean hummus, what we're gonna make very soon. I like to scrape the side of my KitchenAid, so make sure the ingredients are cooperated real well. And now we can add the sourdough starter. I will leave, if you're interested, all the measurements in description. Now, so what we're gonna do now, we're just going to cover this wet looking dough and leave it to it for half an hour. While the dough is resting, I'm just gonna put the ingredients together for the flatbread slash naan bread. I am not using recipes, I'm just literally going to add some salt to my leftover flour, water, and we're going to knead this together. I'm gonna grab the sourdough starter and then we're just gonna cooperaate nicely everything together until it becomes a dough. At this point I could have added some flavor if I want to, from any spice blend or anything, but I think I'm just gonna leave it plain today because we're gonna use this with our hummus, broad bean hummus we're gonna make. Hummus is usually made with chickpeas, and I'm actually making this recipe up, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, this is perfect. Now I'm just gonna put some olive oil on top. Roll it in that olive oil on each side, and literally I'm just gonna leave this covered with shower cap. Next we're gonna do vacuum sealing the peas and the beans. I'm gonna use my half a cup measure, only just to gather it up, not to that I want to be precise, to fill my little bags. And roughly add 1.5 cups. Actually, I forgot to turn this on. Leave a few minutes till that heats up. Let's fill up a few more. I'm not sure how many bags that's gonna make. It all depends how much you wanna put to each bag. I'm thinking roughly this much, something like that should be fine. I'm just gonna vacuum seal it. Okay, the next job is to make fermented cucumber. So I've got everything ready. I've got the dill head and horseradish leaf from the garden, garlic from the garden. I've got a little bit of peppercorn in here. I've got salt and water. I'm using 1 kilogram of cucumber from the garden, 1 liter water, and to the 1 liter water I put 30 grams of salt. So these are my ingredients. So the steps are really simple. I've just kind of topped and tailed the cucumber. I'm gonna try every single of them. Make sure they are sweet. What it is. So it's a little bit big. A little bit tough, this skin. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we're gonna cut a bit more off so we can fit it in the jar. Just a bit more. I'm not sure if that skin is gonna soften, but at the moment it's a bit tough, that skin. Cucumber is amazing. Ah, no. This one isn't. This one is bitter. I cannot put bitter one. See, that's why I wanted to try every single of them. That's lovely. Okay. Some of them got seeds in it because it's quite big, but that doesn't matter. It's all right. Okay, only one was bitter so far. I'm glad I'm trying it. So now we're gonna have to replace that one with another one. Okay. Right. Ready? Next we put peppercorn, garlic. Just gonna put it in whole as it is. Cucumber, water, that's the fridge, ice machine, salt, garlic, fresh dill heads, few black peppercorns, and grape, oak or horseradish leaf. I have horseradish leaf, so that's what we're gonna use. I'm just gonna put everything there. Okay, friends. I'm gonna pour this water over, make sure it covers the lot. Cover this with that horseradish leaf, and this should be ready. In 3 days we're gonna have a taste test. I'm just gonna leave it in the kitchen, just on the floor in the kitchen here. Here you go. Just a little bit of a salt in there, so I'll make sure that salt goes in there. I thought I dissolved a lot. Obviously I didn't. The leftover cucumbers can go to the pigs. The piggies love cucumber. Okay, friends, that's it. So I'm just gonna tidy up. I've already done the next step on the bread, just, you know, mix the dough. And that's it, friends. That can stay now for at least 4-6 hours. What's 4 o'clock? About 5 hours max. And I'm gonna put this in an extra tray and put some water in the rim. I'm just gonna place this on the floor here. Next job is done. It was that easy. Okay, I think we've only got one more job to do and we're all done. So ticking out all the jobs from my list: sourdough bread, freezing pea, beans, sausage and chips. That's ready. I've already cut up the chips. Sausages are ready to go to the oven. Sugar snap pea. That's what I just want to do. I just want to quickly fry up some sugar snap peas, fermented cucumber. Okay, literally the broad bean hummus last, and that's it. A little bit tidy up. I peel these beans because the inside that needs boiling a little bit, because we're gonna not a double skin, but you know, take it out from the pod, and I'm gonna take the outer skin off that as well. So we only eat what is only inside in that broad bean. That's what we're gonna use. And I need to find the recipe. But what I have, and I was thinking to use, what is just literally what I have on hand and made it up. I've got some pistachio cream, tahini, and some goose fat. So I was thinking to somehow incorporate that in the beans. We'll see how it goes. Lemon juice you probably need, salt and pepper. Olive oil. I think we need to fill this soon. But yeah, nearly done. Okay, I've just gathered all the ingredients, make sure I've got everything, and I've measured it out. I asked ChatGPT to give me a recipe to make broad bean hummus, because that's the only way I really enjoy broad beans, as a hummus. So we've still got loads in the garden, so we need to come up with some idea or have hummus for a while. So I've got actually just over 1 kilogram in here, so we're gonna double the recipe, because the recipe asks for 500 grams of fresh broad beans from the garden before podding weight, so that's about 1 kilogram in here. Tahini, so I've got tahini, 2 tablespoons, so we're gonna need 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. We've got 4 cloves of garlic. Asks juice of 1 lemon. I haven't got, so we're gonna use lemon juice instead. 2-3 tablespoons of olive oil. We might have to top that up. So the recipe asks for ground cumin. I'm gonna switch that one for something else. Salt and pepper, and cold water. So when we're gonna do it, I'm going to get that from the fridge. And that's it. So instead of that cumin, we might do that another time. I would like to put some pistachio cream. Let's see what's happened, and a little bit of goose fat, friends, if we run out of olive oil. Oh, we'll see how it goes. But that's all the ingredients in here, so I'm just gonna pot these beans now. I'm gonna put probably a pot behind me on a stove, so for boiling. So we're going to kind of just like blanch this, so we can remove the outer skin. And I'll bring you back. I need to dig out my blender as well. Okay, I am now cooking these broad beans for 5 minutes in boiling water. Soon the time's up, but we've got 2 minutes left. I'm gonna turn this off, cool it down to that temperature so we can handle it, you know, to take the outer skin off. Just getting ready the other ingredients. So we've got the 4 garlic cloves. I am doubling the recipe, so I need to bear this in mind. We're gonna need 4 tablespoons of tahini, 4 garlic cloves, lemon juice, says juice of 1 lemon. So let's say we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're gonna need about 6 tablespoons of oil, olive oil. Our time is up now, so I'm gonna turn this off and remove it from heat so it can cool. Well, actually I think I'm gonna drain it quick sticks. Like this. I'm gonna fill this olive oil up because I think that it's not enough in there. And I think we use olive oil today, and I might use the goose fat another day when we're gonna do with cumin. That would go with cumin. Today with the pistachio, I think I'm gonna leave the olive oil. Oh, Alan is at home. A bit more. Okay. So this part is again a little bit time consuming, but I'm gonna slip out the broad beans from that outer leaf, and that will compose that one. So it will go fast, it's just a bit time consuming. I am now ready to make this hummus. I've got all the ingredients in this blender. I'm gonna start blending and we'll see how much water we're gonna put. Maybe a tiny bit. A bit more olive oil. Okay, let's taste this. That's nice. Perfect. Right, I accomplished everything on my list, friends, so I can just take everything out now, because it's all done. Sourdough bread, well, it's not quite done, but there is a long wait on the bread dough. The naan bread, we're just gonna use this as we need. I'm gonna make it fresh when we need it. Probably won't be today, so I'm gonna put this in a fridge, and that's absolutely fine that up to 4 or 5 days. And I just pinch a little bit of it, make it like a little ball, roll it out, and fry it in my frying pan when we need it. And we're gonna have it with this absolutely delicious pistachio hummus I've just made. It's divine. So that goes to the fridge. We have got the vessel there, the fermentation vessel. So that goes back on the floor. I'm gonna take now the beans and the peas to the freezer. So I am now actually making dinner. So I'm just gonna put some olive oil, pinch of salt, some seasoning on our chips and sausages, friends. And that can go to the active fry. Sausage can go to the oven. So I'm just gonna preheat the oven in a minute. I really like this homestead seasoning. So I think I'm gonna use that to season both the sausages and the chips. I'm gonna show you in the end what everything looks like. But I'm gonna say goodbye to you now. So thank you so much for spending time with me today, friends. And see you very soon. Bye bye. Dinner is ready. So I've decided to do fried egg as well on the top. So I've got chips, fried egg, sausages, peas, and some of the Chinese style plum sauce instead of the gravy. Ready, love?
Okay, my love.
Good morning, friends. It is the next day, and I did leave the bread dough overnight in the fridge, and I've baked it this morning. What you can hear now, the oven is just cooling down, so this is now cooling on a cooling rack, still very hot. And I've just done a naan bread slash fried bread from the dough what we've made together yesterday, and I've put like a nice thick layer of that Pistachio Broad bean hummus and served it with the spiral sweet pepper, tomatoes and cucumber from the garden, and it was delicious.